Speaking of the current WBC heavyweight champ, there is Deontay Wilder warming up with his trainer, Mark Breland. You know, Deontay Wilder told us, my last couple opponents have taken me around. I can't do that tonight here in New York against Szpilka. I need to make a great impression, get back to being that 4-round and under type of fighter with stunning, unbelievable knockouts. Tonight, Wilder fights in New York City for the first time, something he wants to do frequently, and in his words, quote, become the face of the Barclays Center, end quote. Wilder's a big man with a big personality and even bigger plans to unify all the belts in the heavyweight division.
Deontay, you didn't get into boxing just to make a whole lot of friends. It's gonna take one jab at a time, one hook at a time, one uppercut at a time, because this is how I see the storyline. I got one shot, no other options and no plan B. I must walk out of the MGM Grand carrying the WBC.
Ain't no better place than the MGM Grand. Y'all gonna get y'all money's worth, I guarantee you that.
I got so much anger towards Stavern. I'm gonna let him know that this is no games no more. It's time.
Stavern coming forward, but being kept at bay by the jab of Wilder. And there just avoids that sweeping left hook.
I'm about to send this Haitian on permanent vacation.
Wilder started with the jab, he finishes it with the jab.
The first American boxer to win the heavyweight title in nearly a decade.
Man, I'm so excited. I'm just happy to bring this belt back to America officially. Yeah. Since winning the title, life has been crazy, it's been exciting. I enjoy being the heavyweight champion of the world. I enjoy having the most prestigious, most well-known belt in boxing, that's the WBC.
I told them I was gonna be champion one day, but they didn't believe me. Now I am standing here 2015. I did it, I said it. Now it shall be done. Oh, shucks. I got my dream house green car. I ride around in that Rolls Royce. When I see the smiles on the kid's face, it make me smile, bro.
This is the first championship boxing event ever in the state of Alabama, and I love making history. I love putting on for my people, my family. We are family. This is my family. I'm living out what my calling in life, and that was to whoop somebody. And Eric Molina is that body.
Eric Molina coming across line, this Texas boy. Oh, snaps.
Oh, and the left hook drops Molina.
Boy, you better bring some witness, because I got mines coming with me.
He goes down faster than a plate of Alabama barbecue.
Still the undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world.
Are you appreciated enough?
I don't think so.
Duapa's taking the fight to Wilder.
Duapa's been cut on the bridge of his nose. Duapa's hurt.
They have to stop this.
It's all over.
Boxing is my passion. I'm in love with the sport. I feel once I unify the division, I think it'll be a dramatic change. I know my potential is to the limit in this sport.
Well, there's Wilder's opponent tonight, Artur Szpilka. He told us his game plan this evening is simple. Lead this fight on points by setting traps, countering Wilder's big right hand. But if he starts losing rounds, he said he's going to take a do-or-die approach, because in his words, I came here to win, not just be an opponent. Fighting is something Artur Szpilka has been doing his entire life. As a teen, he was a self-proclaimed hooligan that got his kicks from beating people up until he was urged to channel that energy into boxing. He was a brawler. He quickly became a contender. Now, with the help of his new trainer, Szpilka wants to make history and become a world champion.
The very first time Artur Szpilka walked into Plex, he was in awe, because he's never seen anything like it before.
Everything looking good, champ.
Oh my God, Ronnie Shields is the best person. When I first time coming here and everybody say me, hey champ, you here today. And I believe I can be champ.
But he had been talking about this from the very first day. His first words were, I want to become the first Polish heavyweight champion.
I think I'm better fighter. I have good protect now. I know what I must do.
He belonged to a soccer gang. They fought before every soccer match. He got convicted and had to go to jail. He was a bad boy. You know, that's just who he was.
When I was young, everybody liked fight. Everybody fight street. We was team. but no legal team, you know what I mean. You can go prison, but everybody like fight. Mask you have when you go ring. Because when I was hooligan, you must protect your face. Nobody can who you are, and I want the same.
He turned it all around. Now he's happy. He's the happiest guy you're gonna ever meet in your life.
My story, I started nothing. I not have nothing, you know. I only fight street, and now everybody can see. Oh, this guy started like me. I can change my life. This was like a dream, American dream.
And then you.
And the new heavyweight champion of the world.
One more.
I will be champ.
Artur Szpilka, Deontay Wilder, the big men of boxing are ready to throw blows. We're set for our main event. Let's go ringside. Here's Mo, Al, and Paulie.
Thank you very much, BC, from an electric Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York. WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder set to make his Big Apple debut with the third defense of his title against Artur Szpilka, looking to become the first Polish heavyweight champion. Here is Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please for a solemn moment as we pause to recognize the passing of two personalities in the sport of boxing. Well, of course, tonight's main event is for the WBC heavyweight title. And we remember that 2 years ago today, the leader and former president of the WBC passed away. Jose Sulaiman was a beloved, passionate, and respected leader of our sport. In addition, ladies and gentlemen, just recently we lost an esteemed boxer from New York as Howard Davis Jr. passed. Davis was the stellar Olympic gold medalist in 1976 and a three-time world title challenger. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask you to rise and remain silent as our timekeeper tolls 10 in honor of Jose Sulaiman and Howard Davis Jr. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May God rest their souls. And now, ladies and gentlemen, from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the time has come for the main event of the evening, the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World. It's time for Wilder versus Szpilka.
A thunderous ovation for the man who put the BAM in Alabama. And as you expect in a heavyweight fight, one punch is all it takes.
I'm telling you, baby, you're gonna get hit. It's just when you're gonna get hit. I'm the heavyweight champ of the world, baby.
Remember, champ, I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'm the man to reckon with. Y'all want me? Come and get me, baby. Bomb Squad!
And now, here is the challenger, and number 6 contender from Poland, the Polish pin, Artur Szpilka. Ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, the challenger on my left, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with white trim, hailing from Wieliczka, Poland, now fighting out of Houston, Texas. He weighed in at 233 1/4 pounds. His record stands at 20 wins, 1 loss, 15 wins coming by way of knockout. making his first attempt at a world title. He is currently ranked the WBC #6 world contender. Please welcome the challenger, known as the Polish Pin, introducing Artur Szpilka. And his opponent across the ring is the defending world champion, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black and gray trunks, hailing from and proudly representing his home of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He weighed in at a ready 228 3/4 pounds. His tremendous record stands at 35 wins, no losses, 34 big wins coming by way of knockout. Tonight, he is making the third defense of his title. Here is the 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, the hard-hitting and undefeated WBC heavyweight champion of the world, introducing the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. And once again, here's our referee in charge, now to give instructions, Mike Griffin.
Deontay. All right, you men receive my instructions. Obey my commands. Above all, protect yourselves at all times. I want you to touch nothing now. Your boxing at the bell. God bless you both. Let's go, man. Let's go.
The Barclays Center ready to explode in anticipation of this heavyweight title fight. Many fans here in support of Poland's Artur Szpilka. There's the mandatory challenger for Deontay Wilder, Alexander Povetkin. Also in attendance, a man that he's exchanged Twitter barbs with, Tyson Fury, who shook up the heavyweight division when he upset Vladimir Klitschko. Szpilka's looking to upset Wilder tonight.
Ring the bell. Boxman.
Referee Mike Griffin calls for the bell. We are underway. Wilder in the black with gray. Szpilka in the black. Wilder saying that it's all about the number 16. This being January 16, 2016, his beloved Alabama Crimson Tide winning their 16th national title this past Monday. He even joked that maybe he beat Szpilka in 16 seconds. That won't be the case.
Both guys in a very open stance. Wilder very open, Szpilka very open, looking to let go of the bombs, I think.
And Wilder already trying to throw a right hand. Szpilka, of course, Ronnie Shields, Shields said, I want Wilder to throw that right hand. I can't wait for him to do it because he will get off balance and we will counter him. We'll see if that's the case.
Szpilka looking to exhibit his Polish power like Ivan Putski, and just over a week away from the Royal Rumble, he is ready to rumble with Deontay Wilder.
You had to get a wrestling reference in.
1 minute gone, and listen to this crowd.
Szpilka using a lot of footwork, and Ronnie Shields pointed out that he has good footwork. And he's not just attacking in a straight line.
Yes, he's trying to use those angles. Deontay trying to get that jab going, but it's difficult when the guy's moving like that and changing distance. And it's also more difficult to jab at southpaws when you're a right-hander. We'll
51% of Wilder's fights have ended in the first round, 18 first-round KOs. Szpilka has recorded 5 first-round stoppage wins.
Right now, nobody getting comfortable in that danger zone where they're just about 6 to 12 inches closer to each other. Even when they let go of the bombs, they're a little bit too far out of range, but we'll probably see them warm to each other in the next round or two.
And neither man really wants to stand and exchange with each other. They just don't want to do that. You know, Wilder feels like he can land a right hand. Oh, those are not the kind of right hands they want him to throw. No, sir.
And that's because Szpilka keeps changing that range, and Wilder's trying to force that right hand. Yeah, just be patient with it, set it up. It'll be there.
Final minute of the first round. We saw Charles Martin become the 6th Southpaw champion. Can Szpilka make it number 7? Wilder avoids that looping left hand. There's that telephone pole jab from Wilder and his 83-inch reach. And this pro-Polish crowd, once again, firmly behind the pin.
I gotta tell you, Wilder sometimes exaggerates that back step on the defense. Szpilka would be better served to double his jab instead of just single throwing it and then you letting go of the big left hand.
And with apologies, Al, you definitely can't hear a pin drop here at the Barclays Center tonight.
So we'll take a look at the keys to victory. We'll start with the champion, Deontay Wilder. First, he should fight tall. He did that some of the first round, most of it. Don't lunge. He did that a couple times in round one. He's got to be careful. And the right hand, of course, he tried the right on 5 or 6 different occasions, didn't quite get it there. As for Artur Szpilka, he has got to move his head. He showed us that, and he wants to set traps. And by that, I mean make Wilder lunge and then land the counter left, and that's the counter left hand that he wants to get in. They are singing here at the Barclays Center.
An amazing atmosphere. I was going to say, is this a heavyweight title fight or the World Cup? Round 2 underway.
Great atmosphere, great atmosphere.
Off his foot, stay off his foot.
Szpilka off balance.
You see both guys a bit awkward in finding the range to each other. And you see Szpilka going off balance there. We saw Wilder throw a couple of wild shots and miss badly in the first round. They've still got to get accustomed to the range and the distance of each other.
Right, Szpilka known mainly as a counter-punching fighter, but against a guy like Wilder, he has to try to navigate that militarized zone and get on the inside, don't you think, Paulie?
Yeah, and he's got to do it carefully, of course, because, you know, you want to avoid the right hand on your way in. So hence why there's that bit of hesitation. And, of course, Wilder, the same thing. I mean, he wants to avoid the big shots. Oh, and there's a nice counter right hand by Wilder on the way in. Szpilka tapped in.
You know, Wilder made the point. He hasn't even sparred with the lefty since he fought Aubrey Harrison 3 years ago. So, for this fight he did, but, you know, before that he hadn't sparred even with a lefty for a long time. So, he used to get used to the process.
Coming up on the midpoint of round number 2.
There's a couple of different ways you can jab out of southpaw. One, you can use that up jab Deontay likes to use. When Szpilka starts to parry it down, next time you start feinting with it, when he uses the parry, you'll jab over the top of it instead.
Mark Breland is trainer known for his incredible jab, one of the best amateurs in American history, and a native of Brooklyn says that he actually has 4 varieties of the jab, including the one you just mentioned, Paulie, the up jab.
Yeah, but the up jab here is kind of to set up the other jab, because you want Szpilka to start getting used to parrying it. And once he starts parrying it, you feint with it. What Szpilka will do is go to parry at air. His face will be exposed. You can jab over the top of that parry.
We're talking about jabs. Szpilka has started to use his jab much better here in this round.
Yeah, and he's got to. There's a feint behind the first jab, and you know, again, you just want to vary, like you're saying, Al. If he doubles it up, feints first, then jabs. He wants to gain that extra step before throwing that left hand.
Nice combination by Szpilka. Double jab, then the left straight down the middle. He put it best when talking about the crowd support here in Brooklyn for the Polish fighter. He said it's going to be like having an additional pair of gloves in the ring with him.
Szpilka's having a pretty good second round here. You know, whether he's won it, I don't know. He might have, but he's making Deontay Wilder uncomfortable enough to land some punches.
I don't think anybody's super comfortable yet. It's weird, Al. You know, there's a lot of, I feel, a lot of jostling for position. They're both like on edge, I feel.
Wilder has told us 2 things he likes: southpaws and guys who like to pressure him. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mauro, thank you very much. I'm here with Showtime Sean Porter. Sean, can you give us an update where things stand with you and Keith Thurman? We've heard so much that you guys might be fighting.
Yeah, I feel good right now. I'm being told that fight is being finalized and will take place March 12th.
March the 12th. Well, that's fantastic. You'll try and hand him his first defeat. You haven't fought since last June when you beat Adrian Broner. Pretty long layoff. Where do things stand with you?
Well, you know what? It's just no real action. You know, I've still been sparring and training, so I will be ready for the fight, and March 12th can't come any sooner.
And why should fans be excited about this fight? It's been talked about for a long time.
It's been talked about for a long time for a very good reason. We're both the best in our division, and we're about to show it March 12th.
And it'll be for the WBA welterweight title that Keith holds. We look forward to seeing you and being with you on March the 12th.
Looking forward to being the world champion again.
All right, Sean, best of luck. Thanks for taking the time. All right, Mo, back to you.
Well, that's a mouth-watering matchup between Porter and Keith Thurman coming up in March. Right now, it's round number 3. Deontay Wilder defending his portion of the heavyweight title against Artur Szpilka.
We talked about the fact, Paulie talked about the fact that neither of these fighters feeling comfortable. You can kind of see that in the number of punches they threw in the last round. Wilder threw 26, Szpilka threw 23. So they're not, they're not comfortable enough to push up their volume a little bit, although I thought Szpilka probably won the second round.
Szpilka on the attack, clinching with Wilder in addition to working with Ronnie Shields. Szpilka also dedicated himself to Plex guru Danny Arnold's rigorous strength and conditioning program, and he's also added some new punches to his repertoire, most notably uppercuts from different angles.
Well, those are going to be hard to use from the distance they've been fighting right now.
Yeah.
Or maybe as the fight wears on and they tire out, they'll start to fight at a bit closer range. We may start to see some of those.
Wilder said he was concerned about Szpilka being dirty in this fight, but in fact, Szpilka has never committed a foul, never been penalized for a foul, and so far there's no evidence of that.
So, I'll tell you if there's any advantage, even if Szpilka's missing wildly, when he backs up Deontay not on the front foot, can't get any leverage on his shots, and his power becomes less dangerous.
It's a very good point.
And Ronnie Shields told us that they want Wilder to throw that right hand. They want to counter it. They feel he keeps it low and right for the counter. Just past the midpoint of round 3.
Wilder's stance is more open, that sometimes he fights more squared up against his opponents.
Yeah, and
he's doing that tonight.
And I think he's trying to adjust to the left-hander. Nice block there by Wilder.
I agree.
Szpilka with the biggest win of his career coming against compatriot Thomas Adamek, one of 5 Polish fighters who have failed in their quest to become heavyweight champ, including 4-time title challenger Andrew Gallardo, who probably had the best nickname ever and the most apt, Foul Pole. Just ask Riddick Bowe.
I mentioned about, in fact, Deontay had a block of the overhand left of Szpilka. The reason I said nice block is because when a guy starts to block shots instead of stepping back, he's starting to get used to the positioning. He's starting to maintain his position, and he's going to start to look for counters, and he's getting more comfortable at close range.
Szpilka being kept at bay momentarily by the jab. Now moving forward, under 30 seconds left in round 3.
Good body work by Szpilka, and that left hand he threw got in a little bit against Wilder.
Oh, counter right hand by Wilder.
And again, maintaining position by Wilder. He didn't step back there, he just slipped and countered.
Nice left hand from Szpilka. While things percolate here, things got heated when these two were featured in a photo shoot at the Freedom Tower earlier this week.
Squad! Going down!
It's gonna get crazy, baby.
And still!
Yeah, sure. Tomorrow you going down! Saturday, baby, you going down!
Still!
You going down!
Still!
You going down!
Still!
Yeah, still!
And
You going down!
still! And still!
You going down!
And still!
You going fucking down! You going fucking down!
And look who's here. Another man known for mercurial behavior, to say the least. Tyson Fury, the man who upset Vladimir Klitschko. He and Deontay Wilder have gone back and forth on Twitter. And man, it's the night of heavyweights here in Brooklyn.
Get a mic in front of that guy. I want to hear what he's saying. You saw some of the soccer hooligan come out of Szpilka in that little...
yeah, the headbutt.
Little scuttlebutt there.
Little old school MMA there, Paul.
Yeah. Or WWE.
Okay, thank you.
So through 3 rounds, according to show stats, Szpilka has landed 18 of his power punches to 6 by Wilder. Remember, power punches are anything that's not a jab. So it's interesting. He's getting his and some of those are body shots. We shouldn't underestimate. Szpilka's had some success to the body. It's a very close and competitive fight.
And a terrific atmosphere to kick off the 30th year of Showtime Championship Boxing.
See, they're starting to get a little closer to each other, getting accustomed to that distance. And it's going to happen as the rounds progress. And with those open stances, some big shots could land because neither guy is in tight in a stance.
That's really a good point.
7-inch reach advantage for Wilder, and yet thus far really unable to exploit it like we have seen him in the past. He told us that he was going to get back to business tonight, 4 rounds or less. Well, he has 1:53 to become prophetic.
He has thrown the right hand but missed it in most cases, and has certainly not landed one that made a difference. And there's the doubling of the jab by Szpilka, even though it didn't get there, that Paulie talked about.
Yeah, but again now, like I said, if you get Deontay's momentum to go backwards, he becomes less dangerous as a puncher.
One thing we can say, Szpilka is not awed by this moment or intimidated, for whatever that's worth. And one punch can change this fight, of course, but
I think we've seen that throughout the build-up to the fight, Al. You're right. During the conference call, during the interview on Showbox with our own Steve Farhood, he has definitely exhibited uber confidence, and it is serving him well thus far.
And you know what he's doing? He's moving his head.
Well, thank Ronnie Shields.
Yeah, some heavyweights just don't do that.
Oh, good right hand by Wilder. A little mouse underneath the right cheek, underneath the right eye of Szpilka, probably from some of those jabs.
Final minute of the 4th round, and again the jab stuck by. Wilder's beginning to establish it now.
Yeah, Wilder's probably winning this round. I think he's very likely.
And this is the advantage Wilder has at this distance. As they started, they've only gotten about 6 inches closer, but that's just enough for Wilder to start landing his jab. So Szpilka's got to skip this distance. He's either going to be all the way in or all the way out.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And there's the body work by Szpilka, which he's tried to do.
And that's something that Wilder, because of his height, a stinging right hand, but Szpilka takes it and stays in the pocket. Now Wilder
cocking the right hand like a rifle.
That was a hard shot. Another right hand by Deontay Wilder.
We'll see as Wilder starts to let go of more of these right hands. We're starting to finally see the right hands. If Szpilka does have some counters up his sleeve, like he said, for those right hands.
Oh, Szpilka's headed to the 5th round. Deontay Wilder, though, with a terrific 4th.
I need you to focus. Focus, okay? Focus on what you're doing. And listen, you got to start backing him up a little bit. Now you got to get close to him, okay? Now close, okay?
For the first 3 rounds, Deontay Wilder wasn't able to get his right hand in, but there he landed a beautiful jab and came with a straighter right hand than he has been throwing. The jab sets it up. In fact, the jab even lands, and that is not a wide right hand, and he did not lunge when he threw it. And his family loved seeing that. They made the trip up from Alabama, as did Deontay Wilder, and they're enjoying the Big Apple.
Be diligent, okay? Don't get caught with anything stupid. Be diligent.
The bell and round number 5 for Deontay Wilder's portion of the heavyweight championship. The man who holds 2 of those titles, Tyson Fury at ringside. Another man who won his title due to injury stoppage earlier tonight, Charles Martin, in the dressing room, I'm sure still celebrating. It's the night of heavyweights to kick off the year here on Showtime.
We heard Ronnie Shields say to Szpilka that he had to back up Wilder. We'll see if he can. And in the last round, by the way, one of the reasons Wilder was successful is he landed 8 of 24 jabs according to show stats, and that was an improvement.
And Paulie, all of a sudden, it's a brave new world in the heavyweight division. Listen to the crowd.
Yes, it is an exciting one at exciting times here. See, Wilder's starting to back up a little less. Even when he backs up defensively, the steps are much smaller. He's getting comfortable at range. And it also helps his jab.
Szpilka has thrown a lot of right hooks, but not so many left hands. He hasn't been able to get the distance to throw
nice
that.
left hand.
Yep, that time he got one in.
Double jab from Szpilka. There's a right hand from Wilder that glances off Artur Szpilka.
Yeah, so you can say you're ready to counter that big right hand, but when it's actually flying at you like a missile, sometimes you're just glad you got out of the way of it.
Well, and Wilder isn't lunging as much when he throws it, which is part of what they were hoping would happen.
Yep.
Mark Breland, his trainer Jay Dees, his assistant trainer, has been there since day one. The story of Deontay Wilder, well documented, aspired to play for Alabama Crimson Tide basketball or football as Szpilka bounced that off of Wilder's arm. His first daughter born with spina bifida. Wilder had to make additional income and began boxing. And here, after a truncated amateur career, the last male to medal for the United States, a bronze in 2008, and now the heavyweight champion. Oh, and he got caught there as Szpilka stepped on his foot, I believe.
Yeah, simultaneous right hands as Wilder landed his own straight right as well.
Wilder has been down once in his career, came back to stop Harold Sconyers, and Szpilka going on the attack.
And he's been buzzed by Eric Molina and by Stavern, so you can make him feel those punches, and we'll see if Szpilka did it.
And even Johan Duhaupas in his last fight almost closed his eyes. So, and Szpilka said that. He felt that he would be the third guy in a row not to be afraid of fighting Deontay Wilder. He felt that his record is built on people who were already mentally defeated before the opening bell.
Well, this round has certainly been interesting.
Oh, wow. Nice right uppercut it by Deontay Wilder. We are through 5 in Brooklyn.
It's heating up. There may have been a moment in that last round where Artur Szpilka landed something that created some issues for Deontay Wilder. Now, Deontay kind of thinking about whether I should hold or punch back. And then Wilder later on in the round landing that right hand a little off balance, and Szpilka trying to respond to it. And we talked a little bit about Szpilka having an uppercut, but Wilder landing that one. Now, that didn't land as flush as it might have, but that was a round in which both men got a little bit done and made it very interesting.
Wait for the bell, man. Wait for the bell.
This is round number 6 from the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Scheduled for 12 for Deontay Wilder's WBC Heavyweight Championship. Mauro Ranallo, Hall of Famer Al Bernstein, and Paulie Malignaggi ringside. One-two combination by Wilder.
The interesting thing is we have seen about 3 or 4 really good right hands land by Deontay Wilder. And while they have been effective scoring punches, they haven't yet hurt Szpilka or apparently hurt him.
Yeah, he's throwing them right now for aim as opposed to putting weight behind them. He'd rather shoot them sharp right now.
Yeah, Szpilka's been knocked down 5 times, including twice against Brian Jennings in his lone loss back in January of 2014.
You see both these men as they move past the 5th round. Of course, Wilder showed in his last several fights that he can go the distance. He had not gone very long and demonstrated that to everyone's satisfaction.
Clubbing right hand. He's been the distance one time. That was when he won the title against Berman Stavern a year ago this weekend. Went to the 11th round in his last fight before stopping Johan Duhaupas. And now in round 6 against the upstart Artur Szpilka, who was 20-1 with 15 wins coming inside the distance. The reformed soccer hooligan who started as a goalkeeper in soccer but received 3 red cards for knocking on opposing players, and Wilder looking to knock him out, but Szpilka moves away from the ropes.
Szpilka tried to throw an uppercut from range, and Wilder hit him with the right hand.
Got to be careful at that range.
Yep. It's getting interesting, though, isn't it? You feel like something's going to land somewhere here that's going to make a difference.
Final minute of the 6th. The crowd has not subsided. They started making noise during the undercard. And the largely contingent of Polish fans firmly behind Artur Szpilka, who goes on the attack momentarily.
Now, I was just going to say something, and Szpilka proved me wrong. I was going to say he never comes back with the right hook after he throws that left hand.
There's a right hook to the body.
Again and again here. You want to, it's that extra punch you throw in the combination, and he's starting to do it now, and it's keeping Deontay on that defensive.
Final 30 seconds of the 6th round. Deontay stabs him in the body with a jab. The champ is Szpilka.
He's feinting and making Deontay Wilder react, so that's kind of interesting. Close round here.
Yep. The tactics of a 12-round boxing match. A little adjustments you start to see right now.
True.
Szpilka's girlfriend, Camila, very animated and emotional. Watching her man here vie for the championship. It can't be easy for a loved one to see their significant other do this for a living.
Here is where Szpilka goes back, and here's where I believe he tries an uppercut and pays the price for it. Here, tries the uppercut, gets nailed with a right hand. You can't throw an uppercut from that far out, especially with your hands down, and that was a perfect example of him getting hit, and a great job, by the way, by the folks in the truck for demonstrating that.
I need combinations, okay? I gotta have combinations there. Keep backing him up, okay? Let's go. Get that towel.
We are at the midpoint of this championship fight. Al, you heard Mr. Shields demanding combinations. What is it going to take for Szpilka to get to the range he needs to deliver those?
Well, he's done it a little bit when he's gotten inside, and even sometimes from range. But you know, it's hard to put your hands together when you're too far out.
Now Wilder has Szpilka in the corner, feinting with the left, teeing him up for the right. That glances off and they clinch.
Smart move by Szpilka to hold there after that right hand had landed.
Through 6 rounds, Paulie, what do you think about the footwork of both of these fighters, beginning with the champion?
Well, I think Deontay, at first, early part of the fight, he was making too big of defensive moves, stepping too far out. And as the fight's gone on, he's gotten a bit more comfortable. The defensive moves have gotten shorter, so he can make counters like that. As he stepped back before, he was out of range to counter. He's starting to maintain his distance.
Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farrad. How do you have it at the midway point, Steve?
Well, it's funny, this is the first round of the fight, Mo, where there's a clear winner up to this point, and that's Wilder. I've given him the last few rounds. Almost every round is arguable. There's been very little difference. Neither fighter effective in long stretches. The difference maybe to the judges, Wilder's shots are cleaner, easier to see. A lot of Szpilka's punches are blocked.
Thanks, Steve. Like that one right there, a midpoint of round 7. There's a left hand to the body by Szpilka.
Wilder is getting in the kind of right hands now that hurt fighters, but right now, Szpilka's taking them very well.
Yeah, they're usually anesthetic right hands. 34 of his 35 wins coming inside the distance. The highest knockout ratio of any current heavyweight.
And Mo, you talked about the footwork.
Right.
What I like about Szpilka is he keeps changing the target. You see he took that step left, back to his right, then back left. He's bobbing up and down with his head. That head movement we talked about, implicated by Ronnie Shields. He's making himself a difficult target to hit. But Deontay's starting to adjust as the rounds progress.
That was the best jab Szpilka's thrown in this fight.
Yeah.
One thing Szpilka hasn't been able to do is get Wilder on the rope.
While he's backing him up momentarily, Wilder winding up with a wild right hand. Stalking Szpilka now. 30 seconds left in the 7th.
One thing I want to see is the combination of the head movement with punches. Szpilka moves his head, nice body shot.
Right, a hook to the body by Szpilka. His confidence seems to be growing.
Szpilka moves his head and then he stops to throw punches. You want to make that transition right off the smooth move. Right as you're moving your head right into throwing punches, so it's not predictable.
You know, one heavyweight champion with a great jab, Lennox Lewis. Another one was the Eastern Assassin. There's a left hand by Szpilka. Larry Holmes always said the jab was like snapping the towel, Al. And so far, Wilder's jab, he brings it back low.
Fun round.
A fun crowd.
Yes. Well, in the midst of a round in which both men got some things done, there was this right hand. Again, the jab started it. That was very early in the round. And then later in the round, he would again land a right hand. This time, as Szpilka's throwing the jab and landing it, by the way, a counter right hand by Wilder. But at the end of the round, Artur Szpilka was really coming forward, establishing himself, not everything landing perfectly, but he was pushing Wilder back, and the number of punches landed in that round by both men pretty close.
Well, finally a smile, but man, an emotional night for Camilla, but definitely something to cheer about, Al.
Yeah, a very different kind of emotions.
Round number 8.
Reminiscent of James DeGale's sister, who we saw reacting in his wild fight with Lucien Bute.
What a way to close out the year. What a way to kick off the year. Of course, we ended the year with, right here in Brooklyn, Daniel Jacobs beating Peter Quillen in just 85 seconds.
The jab of Szpilka is becoming a factor right now.
And that, and that is interesting in its own perspective there, Al, with the guy who's, got a huge reach advantage.
We didn't expect to be even saying that, did we? No. This fight is not being fought at a wild pace. There's only 204 punches by Wilder, 194 by Szpilka. So it's not a wild pace, but you have this sense of drama about somebody landing something.
And it's a much better pace than Fury Klitschko.
Yeah.
But then a snail race was a much better pace than Fury Klitschko.
It's a good thing Tyson Fury can't hear you.
There was a method to Fury's madness.
Yes, there was. I agree.
But
when Klitschko, he scored a tantamount of a deck of cards worth of punches the whole fight, 52. Nearing the midpoint of round number 8.
In some ways, actually, what Szpilka's trying to do by changing positioning, being a little bit awkward, is a bit of what Fury did to Klitschko. It's just that Szpilka's not 6'10".
Exactly. That's precisely right, Paulie. Aren't you glad you're right?
Sometimes.
Aren't you happy to be right?
If I was right all the time, I'd be much more arrogant.
But you know, it's always saying it. Wow.
Left hand. I think that was one of Paulie's New Year's resolutions, to always be right.
Exactly.
Final minute of the 8th round.
Because you understand, it's just me telling you right, so you can still be wrong.
True.
Szpilka got the left hand in there a moment ago, Mauro, as you pointed out, and that he just has to unlimber that punch a little more.
Leads with it there.
Doubled up on the left hand there, but he's got a bit of a nosebleed. And I think that jab of Wilder starting to cause a little bit of physical structural damage.
There's Szpilka going back to the body, backs Wilder up, but then stays in the center of the ring, using that upper body movement. Looping left hand, blocked. There's a lead right hand by Wilder, and it slips.
Szpilka's showing his tire a little bit. He looks a bit more fatigued, breathing a bit heavier. He's got to be careful as Wilder launches in with those
I know
big
we're in
shots.
Brooklyn, but that was Wilder getting a Bronx cheer.
Szpilka's got a chin though, fellas.
Clash your heads there at the buzzer, at the bell.
Some off-balance work with Wilder. Now there he was lunging, but he was Szpilka not countering. Instead, it was just Wilder lunging.
And now, shoot the one. You can shoot 1-2 all day because he's ducking into you right now. He's not going this way. He's going this way. Into the right hand. Shoot the right hand straight down at him. Keep that jab in the face. You gotta back him up. You gotta back him up.
3-2's there. You get on the left, that 3-2's there.
3 and 4 points.
Hey, get competitive, right?
You understand? You got to throw it and bring the hook back behind it. Let's go. Okay? Let's go to work. He's tired.
The bell at round 9. We welcome those of you that have been watching the NFL playoffs. A thrilling overtime win for the Arizona Cardinals over the Green Bay Packers. And we are in the midst of a heavyweight thriller here between Deontay Wilder, the WBC heavyweight champion in the black and gray, defending the title against the man looking to become the first Polish-born heavyweight champion, Artur Szpilka.
You know, and you heard Mark Breland's instructions in the corner. He wants Deontay to back up Szpilka and throw punches in combination. And the tactics behind that, the method behind that madness is this. When Szpilka gets backed up, he puts himself out of position, hands low, pulls back. So if you put a combination together, the first couple of punches may put Szpilka out of position. Maybe the third and fourth shots may land and really hurt him. Of course, the same thing with Deontay.
Our unofficial score, Steve Farhood has Wilder up by 3 rounds. 78-75 with 1 minute gone here in the 9th. And there's a combination by Wilder, warned by the referee for a rabbit punch. There's a left hand to the side of the head by Szpilka, and there's some sportsmanship.
And that's what I was trying to say before. Deontay makes the same exact mistake, so you could essentially give the same instruction to Szpilka, back up Deontay, and he'll put himself out of position.
And Szpilka getting busy with the left.
And I'll tell you what Szpilka's doing now. He's doubling up with that left hand. So when the first one gets there or doesn't get there, he's throwing another one. And that's a big difference in what he was doing before.
But he's known as a counter-puncher, and we've seen much in the terms of effective counter-punching as we look at these comparisons, Al.
It is interesting, and Szpilka has gone to the body more.
No surprise.
Yeah, right. We're not surprised. And so, but in headshots, Wilder landing a huge percentage.
Wilder flicking the jab. There's a right hand, but off balance, delivered with 1 minute left in the 9th round.
It's a close round. Where we're at in the scoring remains to be seen, but Szpilka is kind of making, I think, a comeback rounder after a couple of rounds that haven't gone well for him.
Yeah, forcing a bit of an uncomfortable tempo and pace.
Szpilka's down! Well, you question Deontay Wilder's power. The proof is in the banana pudding as he just turned the lights out on Artur Szpilka with his 35th knockout, winning his debut here in the Big Apple.
Is Andrew Fanfara trying to console Szpilka's girl or wife?
Yeah, we need immediate medical attention to Artur Szpilka.
That shot came from the side. He might have hit him behind the ear.
He has to listen to us, okay? He can't even
A stunning turn of events here in round 9. A devastating knockout win for Deontay Wilder. Nice to see Artur Szpilka getting up. But Al, Deontay Wilder continues his knockout rampage.
And Wilder showing concern there for Szpilka, looking down and wanting to make sure that he's okay, which I think says something also about Wilder's character. And what Deontay Wilder said, outside the ring, and it's true, he's a very easygoing young man. He said the difference is in the ring, I'm the Bronze Bomber. Other than that, I'm Deontay Wilder. And when this fight ended, now it becomes Deontay Wilder again. And a little concerned for Szpilka, who we hope is doing well. He showed some signs of recognition, but a big win for this young man, Deontay Wilder, who was in a difficult, thorny fight. And there's Artur Szpilka.
A monster KO in Wilder's Big Apple debut.
Lay him back, turn him over.
We know that Tyson Fury is signed to face Vladimir Klitschko in a rematch. We have Alexander Povetkin in the building. Can we play Ursat's matchmaker, Paulie, put Wilder and Povetkin together? Fury, Klitschko, the winners meet.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it. It's going to be interesting. Povetkin, we talked about the positioning, Szpilka. We're going to talk about the knockout first. We'll get into Povetkin and Wilder in a bit.
This is where, during a round in which Szpilka had actually done some good work, he will get nailed here with a right hand. As he was throwing his own left hand. And that's what you face when you face Wilder, because at any moment that power can get you. And the right hand is a very powerful punch, and made more powerful by Szpilka walking into it, adding to the power of the punch.
Yeah, and the other, it actually was on the chin. From the other side, it looked like behind the ear, but a shot right on the chin. Well timed by Wilder. When Szpilka would come in looking for that overhand left, he came in a little bit wild.
The left hand very wide for Szpilka, and he was hit with the right. Now, he had taken right hands before in this fight and not been hurt, but that one was different because he was coming in and he was hit flush.
Exactly, he walked right into it, and then Deontay kind of stuck out his left hand first to measure it with it, make sure he had the proper distance for that punch.
And he is saying, I told you I was going to get it done. Deontay Wilder, a big man and a big personality. A couple guys, you mentioned a couple guys sitting ringside. Povetkin hoping he'll have the next shot against Deontay Wilder. Right now, Wilder reveling in this win.
And here's how the families reacted at ringside. The agony of defeat on the face of Szpilka's girlfriend, Camilla, seated next to Andrew Fonfara. A devastating knockout loss. Meanwhile, jubilation for the Wilder family from Alabama. And what a week it's been for Alabama on Monday, winning its 16th National Football Championship. And tonight, Deontay Wilder in his Big Apple debut maintains his hold on the WBC gold.
Every precaution for Artur Szpilka, making sure they take care of him here.
That's all right. We'll worry about it later. Good job. All right. Let's get him out of here.
Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, I've just spoken to Dr. Jeff Kaplan, and he is being administered also by Dr. Barry Jordan. They are taking him out on a stretcher. They have immobilized his neck. He is talking, he is moving all extremities. He will be taken now as a precautionary and have tests run, what I'm told by Dr. Kaplan, to Lutheran Hospital. But when I asked Dr. Kaplan the condition and if he's all right, he said, yes, I think he'll be okay. That's all we have right now, Mauro. More information coming.
Thank you very much, and good to hear from an initial report as we look at the show stats for this heavyweight title fight that came to a crushing close in the ninth.
Well, they demonstrate the fact that this was not some fight that was completely out of hand for Artur Szpilka, but still, at the end, power made the difference.
Let's go to Jimmy Lennon Jr. to make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time. 2 minutes, 24 seconds in round number 9. He is the winner by way of knockout. He is still undefeated and still the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, the Bronze Bomber, Deontay Wilder.
All right, Morrow, thank you very much. Let's start first right here with Ronnie Shields. Ronnie, please tell us the condition of Artur.
He's doing good. You know, he's awake. He knows exactly where he is right now. He didn't want to go to the hospital, but, you know, as a precaution, you know, the best thing for him to go get checked out.
Are all of his extremities moving, and is he conscious and talking to you?
Yes, he was conscious. He was talking, and he's good.
This is all just to be checked out and make sure that there's no precautionary this is, and it's just to be checked out further?
It's better safe than sorry.
Ronnie, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Ronnie Shields, trainer. Deontay, congratulations. I know you went over and expressed your concern. What did you say? I know you expressed your concern to Artur. What did you say to him?
I told him that that he was a great contender, that the Polish people have nothing to be sad about. He was a true contender. He came and gave his all, and he gave a great fight for Brooklyn and ending the spree of 115 years, man. So thank you, Artur Szpilka, for your competitiveness, baby.
And we see tonight what can happen when you run into a clean shot like you hit him with. On your end, and you're showing concern, on your end, it's part of the game, but obviously you don't want to see a guy get damaged and hurt.
You know, I always say two prayers. I say a team prayer and I say an individual prayer. And my individual prayer, I always I don't want to hurt the next man so he can't go back to his family. You know, people don't understand and don't give these fighters enough credit. They always say this fighter's this or bomb this, but they got to understand we risk our lives in here each and every time. And as you can see, man, we don't know. He may be all right now, but, you know, the couple of days adds on, you don't know what may happen. So he's definitely in my prayer, and I hope he's doing well.
And the good news is we're told by the doctor and by Ronnie Shields, is that he will be okay. Let's take a look at this final shot. You were kind of having trouble up until this point. He was giving you all kinds of fits, wasn't he?
Most definitely. He was definitely a crafty guy. I haven't sparred competed against a southpaw in 3 years. So, you know, he had the Polish people on his side. That gave him the motivation and the will to do what he had to do. You know, he was a tough contender, but hey, you're fighting for a world title. Everybody's going to be tough. Everybody's going to say, I'm not going to stop until he's going to have to kill me here. So, you know, he did a great job, man.
And there you see that big right hand. You just saw the opening and took it. Was surprised it took you 9 rounds to find that opening?
Oh, most definitely. You know, like I said, he was more crafty and slick than we thought, you know, but it's boxing, and we got 12 rounds, so I'm very patient, you know, and looking forward to setting up with a punch and stuff like that. So, you know, they all can't be pretty.
All right, well, we have Tyson Fury right here. I know that you want to unify this championship as Tyson comes in right here. You guys have exchanged some tweets.
Listen, there's only one Tyson Fury. What you got to say about that, Deontay? What you got to say about that, my man?
Hold on a second. Let's keep this civil here. Would you like to fight?
We all know Fury, you just a phony, man. This is just for act. You know where I am, you know what time, you know what place. I ain't scared of nobody. I'll come in your backyard, baby, for that, my man. I promise you that.
Anytime, any place,
when you up in the ring with a real fighter, when you in for a real fighter, that's what it's all about, man.
Squad, no bother, no bother. Listen, anytime, any place, anywhere, I'll fight you in your back garden like a dumb Klitschko. I'll beat you, you bum. You're a bum.
Well, that might not have been a good idea.
You know, we already know this is just an act, baby. You're not a real fighter. This is an act. I don't play this. I don't play this. As you can see, baby, I don't play this, man. This is just an act that you're doing. You should be an actor. But when we do step in this ring, this ain't wrestling. This ain't the WWE, baby. When you do step in this ring with me, if you do, because this could have been done a long time ago, you can run around like you're a preacher and all that you want, but baby, I promise you, when you step in the ring, I will baptize you.
I guess it didn't take long for this promotion to start.
I promise.
Tyson, will it be Povetkin, Charles Martin, or this man running around the ring right here next?
I would love to have him next, but unfortunately, I got other mandatory duties I have to handle first. And when he get finished with what he doing on his other side, he know where to find me. I've been here all along. He can play around all he want. He know how to find me. He know when to find me. Make the date, Tyson. Make the date, and we're there, baby. I promise you. Make the date. Bomb Squad!
Deontay, congratulations. Let's go back tomorrow.
All right, Jim,
Burrow, you're
thank you
used to
very
this.
much. What a way to kick off the 30th anniversary of Showtime Championship Boxing. Welcome to 2016 as we look at the official scores at the time of the stoppage. And all three judges had it for Deontay Wilder, who put an exclamation point on the proceedings. And Deontay Wilder retains his title. Our unofficial scorer had it for Wilder as well, Steve Farhood at the time of the stoppage. But man, you talk about a promotion getting started prematurely, and the fans really giving it to Tyson Fury. We already know that he has signed a rematch with Vladimir Klitschko. Deontay Wilder seemingly winning over the crowd here in Brooklyn, but man, cannot get over what a night it's been. Let's go back to Brian Custer.
And you know what, as you take a look at this, Tyson Fury still doing his act in the ring. I don't think it's a coincidence. We've got the voice of the WWE, Mauro Ranallo, and we got some WWE antics going on in the ring right
Look
now.
at him. Look at Fury. He's up on the corner.
Deontay Wilder told us in our fighter meeting that his next opponent would probably be Alexander Povetkin, but he would certainly like to unify all of the belts by the end of the year. Well, tonight's boxing is part of our free Showtime Preview Weekend, and it ends on Monday. So call right now to order. Keep great variety of programs and championship boxing coming your way. We're going to have more from Brooklyn in just a moment, but right now, here's what's ahead from Showtime.
You think this is a joke? I trusted you with my name and my capital, and you fucked me. Clear out. Leave your key cards.
Gonna go downtown, gonna get my gun, gonna dress real sharp, gonna beat my drum.
I love what I do. I love what we do.
'Cause I got my ears and I got my eyes and I got my knocks and my alibis.
Are we smart enough to do what we want when we want?
Gun in your face.
Bobby fucking Axelrod.
You wouldn't know the right thing to do if it kneeled down and sucked your tiny goddamn cock.
Son of a bitch.
What, he put me on fucking hold?
A man of your stature.
Damn right. I work for the public good.
You work for the good of Chuck Rhodes. Sometimes they intersect.
You should have built your fortune without crossing the line.
If someone has a problem with you, the ground just falls out from beneath them.
I want to put him on the rack and stretch him.
They're coming after you. Fuck them. I'm ready.
He will exact revenge on you.
This here is a declaration of war.
There are no innocent men. Not on Wall Street.
It can get very dangerous very quickly.
Let's recap our night of boxing here from Brooklyn. We started with the vacant IBF heavyweight title on the line. Charles Martin, Czar Glasgow. This one's in the third round. You know, Glasgow hurt his knee when he slipped. And then later in that third round, it happened again. You heard the doctors basically tell our Jim Gray hurt his ACL. He could not continue. Watch his knee here, that right knee. Just buckles there. Hurt his ACL, could not continue. Charles Martin now the new IBF heavyweight champion. The main event, Deontay Wilder making his third defense of the WBC heavyweight title. He landed with the right hand, but in the ninth round, you want to talk about a devastating right, comes right there. And that one put Artur Szpilka out. And Deontay Wilder retains his WBC heavyweight title. Well, tonight's Showtime Championship Boxing will have several re-airings, so in case you miss any part of tonight's action or you just want to watch the fights again, you can check out our replays on Showtime and Show Extreme. Joining me now, of course, all the guys who called the action, Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, Paulie Malignaggi. What do we make of tonight? Especially the ending. Let's start let's start first with what we saw with Charles Martin. Now he has the IBF. Deontay retains his title. Let's start with what we saw earlier.
Well, I was hoping we could add it to the Royal Rumble a week from tomorrow. But honestly, Charles Martin, who we mentioned really didn't deserve a championship fight based on his resume, but this is boxing. Strange things happen. Paulie and Al and I were saying how karma may have caught up with Glasgow after 3 questionable decisions.
Yeah.
We hope he's going to be okay, but Charles Martin is now the second current American heavyweight champion.
And now, of course, with Deontay retaining his title and Tyson Fury here, and so now it's, you know he's got to fight Klitschko. He's already agreed to do that.
Right.
Povetkin was sitting there. Talk to me about this heavyweight division. Boy, it's interesting now.
Well, we said at the beginning that there are many things that could happen in heavyweight division. By the way, Tyson Fury's strong suit is not subtlety, I can assure you. And I know Tyson Fury very well, having done many of his fights. And he demonstrated that tonight. You know, the interesting thing is, so Wilder will likely fight Povetkin.
Right.
And we know Fury's going to fight Klitschko. There's no law that either Wilder or Fury get past those challenges again. And if Klitschko would beat Fury, they would probably have a third fight. So what we've got already are fights set up that are going to be intriguing, where we look down the road and say, what about these guys? And waiting in the weeds, the Joshuas, the Ortizes, the Parkers.
Yep.
It's an intriguing situation.
And listen, if both of these guys continue to win, boy, would that not be delicious to see Deontay Wilder and Tyson? I mean, those guys can sell the fight alone, just the pre-hype for this thing.
I love it. I mean, we talk about WWE histrionics. I mean, Tyson Fury could probably wind up in next week's Royal Rumble. He could wind up in the ring with Deontay Wilder. He could wind up in the ring, obviously, with Vladimir Klitschko. You don't know where this guy's going to pop up next, but he always makes his presence very known. So aside from the heavyweight division being alive and kicking again, you know what I mean? It's just, not that it was bad with Vladimir. He's a great champion, but you just got kind of used to the same old thing. If this guy's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. Now you don't know what's going to happen next. Right. Not just with the results in the ring, but what happens when if Tyson Fury just starts showing up everywhere?
I guess it's premature for us to book tickets to Wembley Stadium and a potential Fury-Wilder showdown. Yeah, I guess.
The great thing is this, of course, obviously this is the 30th year of Showtime Championship Boxing, and boy, 2016 looks like it's going to be a fantastic year, not only for the heavyweight division, but listen, we had some news here, obviously, in the welterweight division. Showtime Sean Porter sitting ringside and says, hey, look, March 12th, I'm finally going to get it on with Keith Thurman. All of a sudden now that welterweight division, and to me, Al, look, you could have like the NCAA March Madness of the welterweight division with all these guys now fighting each other.
Yeah, we know that there's a wealth of talent there, and a perfect example is Porter Thurman, which has been marinating, to use that phrase, and people are ready for it. And I think the main thing is people want to see in 2016, which we saw some of in 2015. I didn't think that was a bad year for boxing. There were some very, very good fights. We want to see more of that.
And we want to see more title unification fights. We're getting one February 27th from across the pond with Carl Frampton and Scott Quigg. Can't wait for that one as well.
And let's not forget, Danny Garcia and Guerrero will be fighting coming up next Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about the wealth of talent in the welterweight division. That's another big fight in the welterweight division. The winner really positions himself in that wealth of talent. It's just so hard to get to the top of it. We talked about Porter and Thurman with March Madness. Right before that, Kell Brook, if he wins over Kevin Bizier, which is a fight he should win, might set up Brook and Amir Khan later this year in the summer. So a lot of possibilities always in the welterweight division.
Well, obviously,
Happy New Year.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great year. And listen, we had a lot of action here tonight. Hey, take a look and a listen of what was going on in the corners tonight.
Keep your jab in the face. Keep your jab in the face. Because he can't fight going backwards. The more you back him up, the less he throws punches.
If you just stay right in front of him, he's going to be able to see you all the time. So keep going here, go there. Here, there. Feint.
Make him react to you instead of you reacting to him, all right? He's tired out.
Look, you want to win the heavyweight championship of the world? Okay, you got to stay close to him and keep backing him up.
Don't go down with him. Stay here. Stay tall and just drive the shit out of him.
Now you got it going.
And now.
No, right. Yeah, but he can start mixing it up.
There you go.
See?
We don't know when it's coming, but it's coming.
Was that right hand about that long?
Yeah.
That's, of course, some of the action going on in the corners. And as we talked about, obviously at the top, hey, 30 years of Showtime Championship Boxing, great anniversary. We're going to put the focus on a number of rivalries, great fighters, great fights. Any great fighter, great fight that comes to mind here as we wrap everything up?
30 years, Mike Tyson on Showtime comes to mind as always, you know.
For me, it's Castillo-Corrales.
Number one or two? One?
Greatest fight I've ever announced.
And what an announcing job you and Steve Albert did. And here's, to show how far we've come, I wore out a VHS tape. Remember those?
Yeah, absolutely.
I had a VHS tape, and I brought it to everyone in my social circle. For me as well, Diego Corrales, Jose Luis Castillo won. Maybe the best fight I've ever seen.
Absolutely. We'll be doing this all year long. Guys, great job tonight. Appreciate it. Well, stay tuned, because coming up next, it is an encore episode of Shameless, starring William H. Macy and Emmy Rossum. Showbox, the new generation, has 2 shows ahead. January 22nd, Rob Brandt fights DeCarlo Perez, and February 19th, Adam Lopez takes on Mario Munoz. Saturday, February 27th, it's a special day of boxing on Showtime. First up, Showtime Boxing International Super Bantamweight Unification fight. IBF champion Carl Frampton takes on WBA titleist Scott Quigg. We've got live coverage from Manchester, England. Then later that same day on Showtime Championship Boxing, undefeated WBA featherweight champ Leo Santa Cruz defends his title against former world champion Kiko Martinez from Anaheim, California. Now for Al Bernstein, Mauro Ranallo, Paulie Malignaggi, Steve Farhood, Jim Gray, and our entire Showtime Sports crew, I'm Brian Custer. Good night from Brooklyn.